Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Copper Owl, bringing you a review on the Nerf Hammerstorm. Honestly, I thought I reviewed this blaster already. Turns out I didn't. So, the Hammerstorm, it's a cool blaster. It's one of the hammer action blasters. It's 8 rounds, and for some reason, and it's in the Alpha Strike line, and for some reason, this blaster just never appeared on store shelves. In the back of my mind, I keep thinking I saw the blue ones in stores, but I know I didn't buy them. And I'm like, I would have bought this thing immediately when I saw it. So it really is weird and all that. Why this blaster never appeared in stores and all that. And it's just odd. It is also very much this is not an Alpha Strike blaster. There's a theory that this is actually an Elite 2.0 or just a regular Elite blaster, and they put in the Alpha Strike line just to give them more stuff. But because honestly, I figure if Alpha Strike was going to have a hammer action blaster, it'd probably be the Double Strike, which I would not be against. So I have both of them. I have the yellow one, and I have the blue one. And I even painted one. So let me talk about that one. One of my early paint jobs. So this is my painted one. I always thought this blaster looked like the Promethean bolt shot from Halo, so that's what I painted it to look like. All that. I like it, but it's not performing well. I was getting 22s out of this thing. So yeah, it's very sad that it's not performing well, but it's one of my favorite looking blasters. So the one I used for the test was this one. Got a Goodwill for $5.99. Got my 2 blue ones online. The 2 yellow ones I got from Goodwill. The problem with this blaster is that this one doesn't like to feed, and I keep thinking that maybe I'm pulling on. No, it didn't want to feed. Even sometimes it will go backwards too. But this is the best performing one. I even got a 74 out of it, but I was just looking to see which one was the best performing. So, and we got an average result of 70, 74. I believe these things cost $20. But yeah, all my other ones are kind of below average. They're either have below average FPSs or really bad FPSs. So something's wrong with them. Either I got all lemons or I need to grease them up. So if you know any grease that could help fix up the plunger tubes, perfectly fine. And another side note is that this blue one I have has a messed up screw port. So that's another thing. It's there might have been a quality control problem with these blasters. So FPS is actually okay, but this is an Alpha Strike blaster, so it's good. I'm going to put that as good. It's the average, but I'm always conflicted. Is average good? Is below average okay? And then it's just the other average is bad. But no, I'm just going to say it's good. Accessories, it came with no accessories. It just came with extra darts. So I'm going to say it's okay. They always want more darts. Sling attachment point. Got one right here and one right here, and one right there, and one right there. But with the shape of the blasters, I figured this one and this one are the ones you're using. Either just this one by itself or put them both together. I'm kind of carrying it around like an SMG. All right, before I forget, advertisement. Buy my book, The Epic of Cassius Crossroads, at authorhouse.com or barnesandnobles.com. Okay. Put this aside. It's because this is a really chunky blaster. Nail clippers. I always misplace these things. My brush. I was cleaning something too. So sling attachment points. It's that's 5 points. Technically, they're not good, but I'm gonna give it credit. Okay, yeah, 5. Again, it's for AccuStrike, but it's good. Is it comfortable? I think it's okay. It's just I think this hammer is too far up. And that causes a problem where I pull the trigger while trying to pull back the hammer. And so, yeah, I do think that this is a problem. It's just too far up. But everything else about it, its weight, its ergonomics and everything, I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. It's just the hammer. And being a hammer action blaster, that's not good. So I'm actually going to say bad because that's your main functionality. Looks, this thing looks cool. You saw my paint job. Yeah. Profile, you paint it all black. No one's going to think it has a very good sci-fi blaster look. So in the future, when we get more of these things looking that way, yeah, but right now I think someone would actually think it's a Star Wars gun. It's a profile. I was saying it's good. It doesn't look like a real firearm. Tactical points. So you have your top rail, and you have this bottom rail for a flashlight. That's kind of dumb for a red dot or a flashlight because it's very much off target and everything. So if it was like right here, that would have been better. It's not. And there's all this extra plastic. This stuff is hollow. One of the mods for this blaster is just chopping all this stuff off. And so with that, I'm like, I'm going to say it's okay with tactical points. It has the one on top, but it has the useless one on the bottom. Rocket, it cannot use the rockets. But it can use the mega darts. And it does have that indent, doesn't it? Yeah, it has the indent. It's also a bit of a weird kind of look to it. But, you know what? I didn't test it out. It might actually affect the performance. Like, I know it fits on it. I've done it several times. I just don't know if it affects the performance of it. So, I'm going to put okay. Sorry, just popped my jaw. I had a really long nap today. Internals. This thing is... You've seen a hammer shot, you know what the internals of this thing looks like. Okay, and yeah, it's workable, it's not confusing and all that. Modability is actually really good. For one, it has the modability of this hammer shot as well, but it's also, though nobody does it, because why would you? But cutting off this part, it's another modability thing. But there's also the aspect of, because there's two different colors of them, you could change out the parts. And I kind of like that. Where it's like, this is a dark red. This is not orange. This is a red. And this is orange. So you could have this have the dark red parts. But this also has a trigger and hammer that's black. So you could switch that out with this. I thought that... And I believe the grips are removable as well. So you could give this the red grip as well. Make this full-blown red. So... I thought that was kind of neat that you could do that if you have the two different colors. But if you want to go more like ergonomics and everything, you could just cut off this part and fill it in. So modability is good. Practicality. Now, that depends. Let's say you get one, considering mine are lemons, you get one that is working perfectly fine. Is this better than a Trailblazer and a hammer shot? Well, it has 3 more shots than a hammer shot. It carries its own ammo. It has the 2 tactical points, so you can put the rail attachment that holds extra darts, the big one and the little one on this blaster, giving you a total of, 22 extra darts. You can put the rocket launcher on it. You can do all those things with this thing and all that. But it makes it more cumbersome and heavy. And it's like, you could do all that stuff with another blaster, like a Retaliator. You could do that stuff with like a Raven. You could do all that stuff with everything else. But for an 8-shot hammer action blaster, I don't think so. Why would you want to? Honestly, just having a Retaliator with the mega or yeah, with the Mega Blaster part on it, and you get a stock attachment and all that. It's like, yeah, you really don't need to do all that stuff. You do get the extra ammo capacity, which will be 30 darts in total, but you get a 30-round drum to use in the Retaliator. So there's like no point in doing all that stuff. Like less is more sometimes. So just having like a revol like just having like that's why the Sweet Revenge is so good. It's so like ergonomic, has a nice profile on all that. It has its tactical rail, and it just does what it needs to do. And everything. It doesn't have all the extra stuff. But once you start putting all this extra stuff, the blasters now become cumbersome to use. Yeah, you could swat a dart out of the air with this thing, but yeah. But anyway, and how can you carry around two of these things? You and all that. This is like you have to go full blown like Boba Fett with this blaster. So if anybody has a 3D printed attachment for a stock attachment point on this thing, I'll gladly take it. So please leave that in the comments. Because if this thing might be better with a stock on it and going full blown sci-fi with it. So with that, is it more practical? You can put the shotgun attachment on it too. And with this extra dart storage, it's like it makes the shotgun more viable. But again, it's like you could do that with any other blaster. So practicality, I say it's okay. Because, well, like with Springers and all that, it's fine. But it's like if you just have the shotgun attachment as well as just this blaster and all your darts, you have effectively two blasters. Versus something like a Retaliator, so you would need a mag. It's like, okay. And you could get yourself the 30-round drum and all that, okay. But you also, it's in pistol formation, it's like, it's kind of awkward, but you could use that. You could get the stock as well. And then it starts becoming like, oh, okay, now you need all the stock, now you need the barrel attachment, now you need the mag and everything, where this you just need the barrel attachment. And for Retaliator, you would need the modulus riser that has the side rails. And then you need the mag holder. Or you could use the stock attachment that holds another magazine. So yeah. So that's what I say with practicality is that what I marked wrong, please. It's okay because there's like, and it's like it's unpractical, but it does a lot. Okay, I think it's the only hammer action blaster that actually has a front barrel attachment. So yeah, it does so much, but it's like why? Price. So these things went for like $20, but anything under like, assuming you're getting one that isn't a lemon, I'm perfectly fine. I bought two of them for that price. Well, I spent $15, so but I would have bought one for $20. So pricing, if it's under $20, perfectly fine. But more ideal price is like the $6 range. That's like I paid for most of them, so $6 is good. But it's like new in box, $20 or less. Okay, so its pricing is like it's very in between because it could feel like you pay in new in box. Like let's say they make a 2.0 version, pay new in box. It does feel like you might be getting ripped off a little bit compared to other $20 blasters. Results 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5. Ooh, it leans towards good. It's a good blaster. So, is it a buy, skip, or novelty? Well, I want to say that this is more of a it's a buy. Just because it's, and it's like a very low buy, because I would say it's really more of a novelty, but they're very rare. So that's why I say buy it, because you really don't find any of these anymore. There was just a bad shipping thing going on with them because of the pinko pox and all that. So I can understand like why it's rare, and it's like, yeah, buy it. It's rare, but not, you don't have one. Just get it if you find one thrifting and all that. There you go. A good paint job out of it. Just look at how beautiful that is. My goodness. It's such a beautiful blaster. Very good cosplay blaster. Just get it for like that. Just like you want to cosplay, get this blaster. If anything. Well, thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen. You all have a nice day. Bye-bye.